Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. In a flashback at the beginning of episode 4, we get to see Haniel working really hard towards her desired goal. However, we see how this affects her social life, where she has no friends. In the present day, she realizes the impact of this back then and that she has finally found a friend in Jiangwu for the first time, despite not getting to see the sunrise because of the cloudy weather. The two of them have some fun in Sokcho and decided to have a meal there, even falling asleep in each other's presence. This shows us how quickly they have become comfortable around each other. Somehow, they spend the night there and then return home the next day. On the other hand, Hongran, Haniul's only adult friend, decides to give her a surprise visit but ends up giving Haniul's mother the shock of her life. Haniul had not returned home all night and her mother had believed she was with Hongran. Fortunately, before the mountain of panic erupted into a volcano, Haniul and Jeongwoo returned home. To add to the matter, Hongran doesn't know when to stop running her mouth, and she asks Haniul if Jeongwoo is her first love who moved into the rooftop house in front of him and all her family. Haniul tries to clear up the misunderstanding and tells her that he is not her first love, but he is her new friend. On the other hand, they discuss Haniul's depression and Hongran apologizes for not taking it seriously the first time she told her about it. Haniul's mother panic is what made her realize the gravity of the situation. Seeing that Haniul spent the night out with Mr. Plastic Surgeon who might have killed somebody, her mother's inner fear come to the forefront and she asks Hongran to set Haniul up on a blind date. In the meantime, Jeongwoo is under the misconception that he is actually Haniul's first love and starts to toot his own horn. Ironically, Haniul shyly invites Jeongwoo to go shopping with her for a dress for her blind date. However, he thinks she is just trying to spend time with him. It does seem like he is starting to see her in a new and rosier light too. At the end of the day, Haniul finally tells him about the blind date and his inflated ego goes poof. Haniul tells Jeongwoo that she is doing the blind date because it's another experience she has never had. I suppose they are both old enough to have had kids in their teens, and yet she has got no fun experience to recall. Hilariously, the date is with Dae Young, Jeongwoo's friend and rival. Dae Young was under the impression that the date would be with Hongran, who is the only non-family member who has subscribed to his social media channel. He is only gone on this date because he is curious why she was interested in him at all. He keeps asking Haniul about Hongran, and eventually his teenage daughter spots the two on a blind date and messes everything up. She is furious that her father would go on a blind date, that too in their own neighborhood. Haniul, on the other hand, is shocked to see that he is the father of a teenage daughter. In the meantime, Haniul's aunt from her dad's side visits Sheol and throw a tantrum about her having quit her job. They are horrible people and go to Haniul's mother's restaurant specifically to ridicule the family. When Haniul returns from the date, she finds Jeongwoo and tells him how bad the date went. He goes from sulking about her going on a date to being all smiles because it went bad. In a fit of anger, Haniul's mother tells her aunt that Haniul's found a man for marriage and is planning her wedding. At the same time, Haniul and Jeongwoo walk by, so they end up getting dragged into the restaurant. Haniul is not one for long tale, so she ends up telling the two the truth. This is when they laugh about her losing her job and insult her further. Jeongwoo can't tolerate the sound of their crackling, and when they ask him what he had to do with their faces, since he is a plastic surgeon, he insults them thoroughly. Although at the time this works like magic and they leave immediately, Haniul does feel the prick of their words deeply. After getting drunk at night with Jeongwoo and having more heart-to-heart conversations about the old times, Haniul sends off her resume to a remote hospital. The next day, she gets a call for an interview and despite being hesitant at first, she decides to go for it. She even talks to Jeongwoo about it, but he points out that she has already decided to go and she just needs a small nudge. He tells her that he believes in her, just as she has done countless times for him by now, and sends her off. Hanyul gets all excited about the interview and makes a long journey there. On the other hand, Jeongwoo gets a surprise visit from his friend and colleague Kyung Min. He is there to discuss Jeongwoo's case, and they talk about how Hanyul's research on this case in India will help Jeongwoo. However, when the subject of Hanyul comes up, Kyung Min tells Jeongwoo that he got a call from the hospital she is interviewing for and told them all about how she had problems with a professor and ended up physically assaulting him. Jeongwoo cuts him off in a jiffy and rushes to find Hanyul to tell her that this is not her fault. When Hanyul reaches the hospital, she gets a call saying that after looking into her background, the doctor thinks she is not fit for the role. She is devastated and can't hold back her tears. She reaches the railway station and makes a call to Jeongwoo, confessing that she has been living her life all wrong. At that time, a train arrives and Jeongwoo shows up there. At the end of episode 4, Jeongwoo tells Hanyul that he went all the way there just to tell her that none of this is her fault. In an ending, we see the anesthesists who were present during the surgery examine a recording device. This means he is the one who set up all those devices in Jeongwoo's rooftop home. Why though? And what did Jeongwoo do to deserve being falsely accused? We will find out more in the next episode of Dr. Slump. Till then, take care and bye-bye.